Hi, I'm Shea Walker, and you're listening to Modern Day Magic Makers, a podcast dedicated to rebranding magic from the mystical fantasy world of your childhood to a more modern incarnation where spells and rituals take on many forms, and magic makers include people of all walks of life just looking to shift the energy in the world. Tune in for inspiring interviews, recommended rituals, and magic-making mentors of past, present, and fiction. Stay tuned for some modern day magic. Hello, lovely modern day magic makers. Welcome to another episode of Modern Day Magic. We are here today interviewing one of my favorite modern day magic makers, which is Camille Virginia of Girl Gets Date.
Hello.
So Camille and I met through a mutual student, actually. We had a student that attended both my Manifestation Friday night class and also her Girl Gets Date class, and the student felt like we had very similar energy and that we should get together and plan an event, which we did, and we called it Manifesting. And it was last spring, and it was lovely, and we're actually planning another one for the fall, so stay tuned for that. If you want more details, you can head over to michellesheaWalker.com/workshops. But for now, we're going to be talking about how to create that modern day magic in your dating life and in attracting men. So if you want to compare it to sort of a love spell, what would be your vital ingredients for a love spell? Whether it be actions or actual, like, items?
I think a combination.
Okay.
And whatever you feel works for you, going with that. Because if something works for one person, it may not work for the other person. And so, really finding what makes you feel good. It could be a combination of dressing in something that makes you feel confident and lovely and does not remind you of work. So you get in kind of that feminine
That's a good one.
place.
Yeah, depending on what your work is. Your work could be very feminine.
True.
But again, probably not the most romantic energy.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yes. And wearing something a little unique, since men are very visual, they will tend to comment on something you're wearing. If they want to start a conversation, Michelle is smiling.
Yeah. There was a very aha moment when I went to Camille's class, because I actually recently broke this statement piece, but I had for a very long time my favorite piece of jewelry was a rose quartz crystal bullet necklace. And I would wear it all the time and get compliments from everyone, but often men, where they'd be like, "Oh, cool necklace." And I would think to myself, "Oh, it's a crystal. They're not going to want to hear about my hippie, new agey, like what a rose quartz means and how I'm cultivating more self-love by wearing it." Yeah, they're not going to want to hear about that. So I would simply say thank you and walk away. And it wasn't until Camille's class that she mentioned that men are very visual. And so if they want to talk to you, they're going to pick something that you're wearing. And it had never occurred to me that this necklace was supposed to be the start of a conversation. With women, I would be like, "Oh, great, you can buy it on Etsy." But with men, I thought, well, they don't want to know that. So I would just say thank you and walk away. So now I have to replace my rose quartz bullet. But yeah, so that's a good one. So maybe you can actually have sort of a talisman for your dating life. If you want to assign that sort of magical power to something, pick something that's very statement making.
Yep. And also something that you feel may represent you. So if you were an accessory personified, what would you be? And then it's unique like you are, but also if someone compliments it, they're kind of complimenting you.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, my crystal bullet was kind of myself personified. I feel like it could be that. I just thought to myself, oh, they just like it because it's a bullet.
Which they may. But
they may have, but still, it should have been.
Talk to you.
Yeah. So let's talk rituals. Do you recommend, as far as like getting ready for a date or even getting ready to go out to attract a date, what sort of rituals or things do you recommend in that area?
I would say dressing in something that's comfortable, first of all, and again, just like gives you confidence. You know, if you feel confident in yoga pants, by all means, get out there in yoga pants. But for most of us, if we end up talking to a cute guy in a grocery store in our yoga pants, we're thinking half the time, I wish I was wearing something a little
Meanwhile, I live my life in yoga pants, so it doesn't matter. But yeah.
So you probably could easily pull it off. You're confident in yoga pants or anything. So I would say, start with that. And then, makeup, perfume, not required, but if it makes you, it's more about how it makes you feel. So if you feel that that's going to put you in a good mindset and just add a little bit of something to kind of give you an edge, by all means, wear makeup to the grocery store if you want to, but not required.
I like that because so I'm a big fan of cherry picking from other cultures, other ideas, other magic making, and I love the concept of placing a little bit of value on the makeup, not because you feel bad without it.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, like the Egyptians put a huge value on eyeliner. Like you couldn't get into the afterlife if you weren't wearing eyeliner when you were buried. And so, yeah. And so it's like, and it had sort of a magical allure to it. And so, and that's why we're all still trying to get that Cleopatra cat eye, like we still believe that it has some sort of magical allure. And so I like the idea of not coming from a place of self-consciousness of, I need this to look attractive.
Yes.
But maybe you have your specific little, like, lucky red lipstick or
and
your
that's all that you wear.
Special
you
cat
don't have
eye.
Any makeup. You have just the red lipstick. And you feel like $1 million and you go out and conquer.
Yeah. There's a great, have you ever read the book, Why I Wore Lipstick to My Mastectomy?
No.
It's a really great book by an author, Geraldine Lucas, and she basically uses lipstick as sort of her, like, confidence talisman. And so she decides that going into this very defeminizing seeming situation that she's going to wear red lipstick and it's going to make her feel more confident and sexy. And even after the surgery, she ends up doing like a topless photo shoot for like Self magazine or something. So during the photo shoot, she mentions that she just like, they're like, oh, your hair and makeup's fine, we don't need to do it. And she's like, I just need some red lipstick because that's gonna give me some confidence.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, again, it's not something that she's like, oh, I look hideous without this.
No.
This is like my war paint.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at this as preparing for what it is that I'm going into.
Yep.
So yeah, so you're preparing for that going out into the world and like feeling a little magical, a little witchy, a little alluring with
and
whatever it is.
And standing out from the crowd from the other people who are not wearing the red lipstick.
Yeah,
because that's kind of your signature one piece of flair. You're not
like that.
You're not overdoing everything, but this is your one. Like people are going to notice that, and they're going to notice you.
Yeah, I like that. So in yoga and in magic making, there's often a huge weight, a huge emphasis placed on setting intentions. And at the beginning of a yoga class, there's always that time where you like have that stillness and whatever it is that you want to cultivate. And that's also really big in like spells and rituals. Like you even sometimes often write things down and burn pieces of paper and things like that. So I know that you've mentioned setting intentions for when you're going out, trying to attract someone. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, once you've kind of gotten the outside taken care of, then, time to go inside and think about what you want. Maybe you're not in the mood to meet someone or you've already got a date for the weekend. Maybe you want to just make someone feel good, so you're going to compliment 4 people when you're out on errands or things like that.
Love that.
And just make their day, and that's going to make you happy. And then in that process, you may inadvertently meet someone anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're spreading connectiveness and compliments and all these other great things, and meeting someone could just be a side effect of that.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons why this student thought that Camille and I would work well together, because that topic right there goes very well into the idea of manifesting. So if you're just going out with the intention of finding connection and creating connection in the world, you're going to draw more connection to you.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons that Camille is someone that I've selected as a modern day magic maker, because I want my modern day magic makers to be people that are trying to change the world in some way, trying to shift the energy.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely the best part about taking your class is I walked away with lessons on how to meet friends and, how to just be more aware of my surroundings and be more aware of the energy around me that people are creating and being more open to it. And so that's the really magical part.
Love that.
Awesome. So anything else that you want to add that we haven't covered? Little magical love spell attracting powers.
I would say to get comfortable. You know, just mentally and physically taking a deep breath and just getting comfortable, making sure that you're comfortable in what you're wearing, that you're comfortable in your mindset. You're not thinking of a million things because you're going to miss opportunities that are coming your way if you do have a packed day full of stuff. But if you can give an extra 30 seconds to each place that you go and just remember your intention that you set before you went out, it'll go a long way.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you're an introvert.
Yes.
And I'm an introvert as well. I feel like you're a much better adjusted introvert.
I can fake being an extrovert.
Although I have gotten several compliments lately from people that I mentioned being an introvert, and they're like, really? Like, I would never guess. So
you can turn it on too.
Yeah, exactly. You find the right situation, you find the right motivation.
Yes.
And that's when again, setting the intention and allowing yourself to go into the situation knowing, hey, I want to make a connection with this person, so I'm going to set aside my normal introverted tendencies to power through and make sure that happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, as an introvert, how do you often go about starting these conversations with people, whether it be dates, new friends, or what have you? Like, what's your suggestion for people that are a bit introverted that just don't want to talk small talk?
Yeah, I know small talk can be exhausting. If you think about small talk as like just an icebreaker, so you don't have to stay on the random topic that has served to connect you, but it's just going to be a moment and then you can get a little more personal. That can help. But I would say use what's around you that's immediately and easily relatable. So that could be day of the week, it could be the weather, it could be the pink necklace that she's wearing, or anything like that. Something that feels genuine. Don't say, "Oh, I like your shoes," if you don't really like their shoes. Say, "Oh, your shoes are interesting," or something like that.
Yeah. Don't lie. Just don't tell them that their shoes are horrible.
Or be like, where did you get those? Those look very unique.
Or sometimes if that's genuine for you, maybe if you can be charming and tell them that their shoes are horrible, that could also work.
Absolutely. And you may have just like matched with someone who has your same sense of humor and appreciates that.
Now my problem is following that up though.
Yes. So as soon as that topic...
with something more than thank you and walk away.
Yes. So when someone initiates a conversation with you randomly, it's kind of like they've hit a tennis ball to you. And you're going to like play back and forth on that subject for a little bit. And then once it's over, it's kind of your responsibility to hit it back and let them know you want to keep playing.
Yeah.
So with that, I would ask something personal, like, how's your day going? Where are you headed? Any plans for the weekend? Things like that. Because if you do just kind of let the icebreaker topic die down,
then it's over.
It's over.
That's it. Yeah.
He made the move. He said something random to get your attention, and you talked. So just kind of having something in the back of your mind. Yeah. Mine is usually, how's your day going? You can say that anywhere, anytime.
That's true. And honestly, like, that's a great question to ask for anyone. Like, as someone that's trying to create connections with people, even if you're not that interested, on the one hand, you don't want to lead someone on, but, like, even if you're not that interested, being interested in how someone's doing is a great...
You could be the only person that's asked them that in a long time.
It's a great intention, a great motivation. Yeah. I like that.
And then it shows him, hey, that's cool, we just talked about this necklace for 5 minutes.
It's okay to still talk.
Yeah. I'm giving you the green light. You could also set an intention on the date. So thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to find out what makes this person unique or what their best traits are, things like that.
I like that, yeah.
And you're already looking for the positive as opposed to the negative.
It's like a conversational scavenger hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not necessarily going to open with what makes you tick or, like what makes you different from everyone else, because that's kind of off-putting.
Yeah, but like gradually finding that out through questions.
I like that.
Things like that. And then you're not, because people tend to do the opposite, like, oh, well, he just, he doesn't fit this criteria that I have, X, Y, Z. And as opposed to looking for the negative and what he doesn't have, looking for the positive and the things that he brings to the table will already put you in a different mindset.
And again, from a manifestation energetic standpoint, even if you don't end up dating this person, or if you do decide at the beginning of the date that they're not that interesting, focusing on all their negative qualities throughout the date is not going to attract you anyone with positive qualities.
That's a good point.
So the more that you can allow yourself to find the good in everyone you're interacting with, and that's, I think that's brilliant. I think that that's a great way to go about life and dating and all of the above.
And it'll make you have a better time. So even if you know halfway through the date, okay, we're probably not going to go on a second date, there's not a lot of chemistry, but we're having a pretty good conversation, you're not going to be in that mindset of, oh, I just want to get out of here, you know, I just wasted my night, you know, just switching that around and finding the good can make you come away with a better energy and a better intention for the next time.
Yeah. And this is actually a great topic. I just remembered, I'm not sure when this podcast is going to air, but it's going to air sometime within the next couple weeks, which will be after Venus is going retrograde. And what that means in astrology, what that means is that, so when Mercury goes retrograde, I don't know if you're familiar with that, like communication and all that goes haywire.
I hate that.
So Venus is the planet of love and beauty, and so when Venus goes retrograde, things in that area get brought up. And if you're on stable ground, it's a good time to reunite and sort of find that reconnection. But if you're not on stable ground, it's sometimes time to cleanse people out of your life and let go of things. I actually recently learned about Venus retrograde and went back and looked through past dates, and my two most major breakups in my life occurred during a Venus retrograde.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if things are going, but then again, there was plenty of times that I was with someone during a Venus retrograde, and I was focused on myself and my life and the happy bits, and things went fine. But if you're focusing on the negative on any of your relationships during Venus retrograde, it's going to bring up more negative, and it's going to cause a lot of fallout.
Snowball.
So yeah.
Jeez.
Which, I mean, it's never a negative thing. We're never getting rid of or cleansing anything that was going to serve us any further. So sometimes it's a little unexpected whenever Venus goes into retrograde and something shifts, but it's always, a good sign. But yeah, so love and relationships and connecting with others and making the most of all of your connections is a great lesson for when Venus is retrograde. So everyone go out and find your way to make a positive connection with someone. What's your own dating ritual? What do you do before you're getting ready? Whether it be to go out to attract a date or to go out on a date. What's your date war paint and and your lucky talisman?
I usually have my date outfits.
Okay.
So outfits that are, I feel great in, and I know are comfortable. If you wear that brand new outfit that you just got that you're so excited about, but you don't know that halfway through the night the tag is going to really be itching. That's hard. So my tried and true ones, I like those. Smile. I would say a smile is your best accessory. If you have a date already and you're going up to meet them, I'll always smile. I'll go in for the hug to establish that immediate, body connection. So
you're not wondering who's going to touch who later and what's happening. And I don't mean that dirty, guys. I just,
or maybe.
But I mean, you're not wondering when this contact's going to happen. It's already done.
You've already gotten it out of the way.
Yeah.
And you already feel more close to that person because of that.
Definitely. I love huggers. If everyone in the world would just give me a hug the second that they saw me, I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah. I've been randomly hugged. In a bookstore, I knew the breed of this lady's dog, and she just gave me a giant hug. And I was like, that was awesome.
Exactly, yeah. So, Camille, as we wrap things up, where can the listeners find out more about you and your lovely services?
They can find me at girlgetsdate.com or email me directly at Camille@girlgetsdate.com. And I'm working on a brand new website right now. So there's links on the current website, but more to come. It's going to look a lot more beautiful.
Awesome. And on the current website, you actually have an offer. She has an online course. So for those of you that are not in Chicago, you can still take the Girl Gets Date extravaganza of information by going to the website and through Udemy.
Yep.
Yeah, Udemy. You can go through Camille's link on her website and you get 30% off. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so a special offer for all you podcast listeners. Go to girlgetsdate.com and get 30% off the Udemy
online lecture
coursework,
series.
online lecture series. So yeah, thank you so much for chatting.
Thanks for having me, Michelle.
And if you all are in Chicago and you want to participate in our next manifesting event, feel free to go to michellesheaWalker.com/workshops. And there's a nice little link where you can sign up for updates whenever we officially have our date and venue for the fall. So hopefully we will see you there. I hope you continue to listen, continue to make magic, and go out tomorrow and make a genuine connection with someone else, whether it be for a date, a friendship, or just to make someone else's day better. Create a little magic in your relationships. Have a great day. That's it for today's podcast. For more on Camille, you can visit girlgetsdate.com. To learn more about me, go to michellesheawalker.com. And if you liked today's episode, feel free to subscribe, share, or leave us a review. Until next time, I hope you continue to find your own brand of modern day magic.